the city of angels. It is Sunday night, and you are watching the MMT mile, over 200 million worldwide. So I think it's a little disappointing, but it's not like it's catastrophic. $28 million film, so they're going to make money on this. We'll probably get a Smile 3. I just hope that Parker Finn writes a little bit stronger in number 3. I think a lot of the stuff does not come together like I really wanted it to, but we'll discuss that later tonight. Any thoughts on that? If you had a chance to see it, we get into it, but it is time to start the Sunday evening spectacular, again live from the city of angels here on this Sunday night. Welcome inside the MMT studios as we get ready for a fun show tonight. Sunday night, we try to recap the week's events in cinema, and there's a huge story that I'm thrilled to be leading with tonight, because anytime we can hammer Netflix, we are going to take advantage of that. Remember, who was the first? I even need to ask you guys, who was the first to break through and say, fuck Netflix? Who was it? It was me. Because everybody else in the space is beholden upon the studios for access and parties. And, oh no, maybe I won't get to go rub elbows with the stars. You have no idea how many people in the space, like, that's all they live for. I'm at an event with the stars. Oh my God. And the stars were like, ugh, who's that? Eesh, I don't want to be near that person. It's literally like the worst case scenario for these stars, where they put on a good face and they come up and say, hey, I love that you love the movie. Well, we don't care. So we hammered Netflix. Why? Because they have no theatrical component. As you guys know, you look at what they have done when it comes to movie theaters, and the only film that came to you in a movie theater at AMC or Regal, the major chains, was Glass Onion. And as you know, they pulled it after a week. It did really well. And then all of a sudden they said goodbye. And because of that, we said, oh no, we are going to drag your bitch asses as much as we can, because we are founded on one thing here at MMT. What is it? Movie going. That is it. We don't talk about streaming shows. We don't talk about anti-woke shit. We talk about going and sitting your ass in a theater and watching movies like we have for pretty much our entire existence as human beings. Well, okay, over the past century plus. But when you look at where we are, movie theaters are hurting. And it doesn't help when you have a Netflix throwing money at directors and not giving the movies that they make a proper theatrical release. And that's where we bring in Daniel Craig, who, this is a great, God, I love Daniel Craig. By the way, can I say this? As we get ready to hammer Netflix, 007 does slam Netflix, and MMT Cinema Champion, our second all time, is Daniel Craig. Why? Because as I go to this article, you can see what he says right here. Daniel Craig reportedly told Netflix's CEO his business model was fucked. Daniel Craig watches MMT. Isn't that exciting? It's thrilling to know that these directors and stars, if they haven't watched, they've been told there's this little streaming thing on Sunday night that's niche, but the cool people watch. And they hammer Netflix for not having their movies in theaters. So here's the story. Apparently, the story went back and was reported by Matt Maloney of Puck. And he said, as you know, there's a lot of pushback now. It started here on MMT, baby. I told you guys we have producers, we have directors who watch the show. We may not have the numbers of Grace Randolph, but trust me when I say this, our viewers are smarter and they're more powerful in this town than anybody who watches that teleprompter reading, New York bound fool. No, she's one of our schizo critics, right? Because she occasionally gets it right. But the people who watch us know that we're always right. When have we been wrong? Okay, other than Joker not doing that well at the box office, can we memory hole that? Everything else we've been right about. But look, apparently, when Knives Out was out, as you know, they gave it the week, and then there was an interaction between Craig and Ted Sarandos, who's the CEO of Netflix, who says, it's not our business model. We don't care. We only care about streaming. So apparently 007's like, fuck that. The audience at the event gave the movie a standing ovation. Craig used it as evidence that Glass Onion should get a larger and longer theatrical release. The CEO, Sarandos, disagreed and replied, that's not our model. That led to a heated reply from 007, who reportedly said some variation of your model is fucked. According to Puck, Craig isn't the only person in Hollywood unhappy with Netflix because they're all finally coming on board. Who's first? Who's the first one through the door? Me. Every damn time. I got to be the first guy and get out there and take all the arrows. Oh, Weber's out there again saying Anor is totally overrated. How the hell is that a best picture? Just wait. The narrative will change. And guess who was on it first? Me. Nobody else, because no one else has the balls, man. They don't have the guts. They don't have the fortitude. They just are afraid. I don't want to go out there and take the wrath of all the film Twitter dweebs. Oh, no. I'm so scared of the blue-haired weirdos. Oh, my God. Look at them all. I mean, literally, film Twitter is full of the most myopic, clueless, out of touch with reality people on the planet. Like I give a shit what they think about me. Give me a break. If they don't like what I'm doing, it means I'm doing something right. If they like what I'm doing, it means I'm kind of fucked. I'm doing something weird, like them. Just they're weird people. I don't want to associate with them. I don't want to hang out with critics, nerds, and I don't want to hang out with film Twitter weirdos. I don't want to hang out with them. I mean, I have a little bit of weird in me, but not like that. These people are just a little bit, I don't know, just odd, right? And that's why I keep tuning in. Thank you. We talk about theatrical experience. Exactly, Mavell Jones. You know it. You know it. But going back to, it's not just Daniel Craig who's hammering Netflix right now. It's Emerald Fennell. Of course, coming off of Saltburn and Promising Young Woman before that, she's making Wuthering Heights, another adaptation, and it's a big budget film. And apparently Netflix is like, we'll give you, what, 150 million or so on this thing. And she's like, well, I'm not really sure if I want to work with you because I'm not going to get a theatrical release. And Robbie, who's going to be in this thing, Margot Robbie's like, listen, I'm used to movie theaters. I like going to the movies. They have more cultural significance. We know that. We don't need to say that. Wait, we already know this. Okay. Any movie that's streaming doesn't have 1/10 of the power of any film in a movie theater outside of something from like ZYX Studios. Okay. That doesn't count. Blue Fox Entertainment doesn't count. But everyone else, Vertical, yeah. I mean, listen, one of our favorite movies of the year. Everybody get out your bingo cards. Asphalt City. Theatrical. Better than anything that's on Netflix. Because at least people had a chance to see it in a movie theater. Oh, but they do show their movies. They're at Lemley, and they're all these weird, indie theaters that are around the world. Well, guess what? That's not everybody. Why don't you make your films available to everyone if they want to watch it in a movie theater? I don't watch things on streaming. The only thing I watch on streaming is like old pro wrestling. I know it's sad. It's really sad. I watched like 1988 WWF. This is because it's like brain dead stuff. I watched enough movies where I had to be locked in and sit through something like We Live in Time, which I'm going to talk about tonight, MMT evaluation coming up. So I need a break. My brain needs to turn off, but I don't watch streaming shit. I don't talk about it. We certainly have a lot more views and more, mainstream accessibility if we were talking about the latest Lord of the Rings or the Marvel show or whatever the hell the anti-wokers are raging about now. We definitely go anti-woke. We also aren't really, anti-woke, but we can go there, but that's not what the channel is. Okay, so look at this. Deadline reported back in September that Glass Onion could have made over $600 million worldwide at the box office it received if it did have that full-length theatrical run and a marketing push. And then Craig and Johnson were pissed. And now Netflix might finally, guys, how many streams have we done? Someone come in and get my back here. Someone in the comments, Gone Girl is producing tonight. Give him a thumbs up, please. Is someone come in here and tell me who was the first guy to say directors need to say no to Netflix? Just turn them down. Do not work with them. We have written a script. I told you the script's good. Script's better than We Live in Time. It's better than Anora. Our script's way better than Anora. Anora's script's shit. If that wins best original screenplay, guys, we're fucked. It's over. The Oscars are done. That's a terror. Watch it. Wait till you see Anora. It's only New York, LA. Just you wait until you see Anora. It's still better than Netflix because it was at least in theaters. Because Neon's way better than Netflix. But Anora is the most overrated film of the year. I mean, yeah, best picture, possible screenplay winner. Our screenplay is better, but let me tell you this. I'm not selling the screenplay to Netflix. I don't care if it's the only offer. First of all, they never would. After all the bashing I've done, they're fully aware of who I am. Trust me on that. I am very knowledgeable about them saying, fuck Weber. Good. Fuck you, Netflix. Like, I give a fuck. Like, I want to go hang out with your stars. I don't need to be validated by stars. When I walk in, I'm the fucking main attraction. Well, okay, maybe that's a little strong, but at least I have some name recognition. Most of these critics are like, who's that Yahoo that has no audience? Like, none, zero. And yet they drive all over LA. Like, every day they're driving to a different screening. I'm like, why are you doing that? You don't even have anybody who pays attention to you. Why do you do that? I have people that sort of listen to me, not a lot, but a few. And I don't drive all over LA. I used to. It's like, dumb. I've done it. I've been to those things like, oh, how are you doing? That's great. Your movie's fantastic. Last time I geeked out on anybody at one of those events was Todd Field for Tar, because Tar's a masterpiece. Tar's the best film of the 2020s. So I said, Todd Field, I got to talk to you. And I guess what I talked to him about? I think I told you guys. I said, where was the score by Hildur? And he's like, it's there. I'm like, Todd, it's not there. It's there. It's buried like 10 layers deep. I'm like, then it's not there, Todd. That's what I talk about with these people. The other of them go, Todd, I thought you were so great. And my God, how amazing is Kate Blanchett? And the director's eyes are like glossing over because they're so boring. These critics are so dull. They don't bring anything to the table. Most of them have no talent. Okay. And then even if they did have talent, they don't have the balls to get out in front and say Netflix can suck my cock because they don't have any movies in movie theaters like AMC and Regal. They don't do that. No, because that means I could maybe not go to the next premiere. Gore wouldn't do that. Oh, but Gore's so dangerous. Film threat. Oh, my God. Ask Gore to go off on Netflix because you know why he won't? I can't go get the open bar next time that they have it. I can't hang out at the Netflix event and act cool and eat a bunch of hors d'oeuvres and drink scotch. But if that's your validation, it's pretty fucking sad. Okay. I'd rather write a film, which we did, and it's awesome. Okay. You guys, when it comes out, when this movie gets made, and trust me, it's getting made, y'all gonna be like, damn. And the film Twitter people are gonna hate me more. Damn, Weber, I can't stand that guy, but this is good. This is good. What do we do? It's like that meme of the head exploding, the raging liberal. That's film Twitter with the reaction to me. Guess what? It's reciprocal. Trust me on that. So I'll sit here and hammer film Twitter all day and still put a movie out that's better than Anora. It's 100% better. Screenplay is 100% better. No, I'm never going to sell a movie script to streaming. It's never going to happen. Why would I do that? It's not, never. So this is great news for us, guys. This is a win. MMT is winning right now. And here's why. Because everybody is starting to say, fuck you, Netflix, for not putting your movies in theaters. Because that's the right answer. And the directors who turn down Netflix say, I'm going somewhere else with my project. We salute you. Because ultimately, we need more of you in this town. I know it's hard. A lot of people are out of work here. They're like, I just need to work. I need to sell my thing. I understand that. But I'm telling you, in the way that I am built, I would never sell our film to Netflix. I don't care if it's 10 times the amount anyone else offered. It would never happen because the difference between me and most people in this town, I have principles. I will stand on things. I'm not going to bend due to cash. It's never going to happen. And I think you guys know that. And there's some power. Most people don't operate like that. They operate like, well, I have to get the most possible that I can. And if that means I give up theatrical, then at least I'm rich. I don't give a fuck. Like, seriously, what do I need? I need a roof over my head. I need a bed. I need a shower. I need a place to cook. That's about it. I need a car. I don't need anything. Why do you need all these other things? Someone explain to me. Because in this town, you got to show, oh, look at me driving my super expensive car. And by the way, where do you live? What zip code? Who fucking cares? Are you that shallow? Oh, yeah, you are that shallow. Well, that's why I don't have any relation with you whatsoever. I have no interest because this town is so superficial. And I am not from that mold. I'm a Midwest kid. Grew up in Columbus, Ohio. Test market of the universe. And that's why I'm here tonight, is because I have a piece of that out here. Most people out here have they're off. There's something wrong with them. Me, grounded, normal, script's amazing. Can't wait to share it with you guys. But exactly, Red Spice. No, but you know what? The funny thing is, I think they don't like the fact that I get attention. But you guys know this, and I'm telling you 100%. It's never been about that. I have never once come out of a film and said, this is a flaming pile of dog shit to get a reaction. Babylon is truly as odious as it gets. I'm telling you, I wanted to walk out, right? You've got the elephant shitting on people from the first frame, and I'm like, what am I watching? I watched people get up and leave that first screen. I came out and I said, this is a tonal disaster. I was the only person who was even had any reaction to that film. I came out in front of it and hammered it. And that takes way more guts than 99% of the people in the space. 99.9. They don't have it. They're going to say, well, it's Damien Chazelle, so it's got to be good. Even if they just saw that it's not, they still have to say it because we've got to go with what's expected. Fuck expected. I will not do what's expected. I will not be put into a box. You'll never do it. Good luck. It's never happening. So for those of you who want attention, the way you get it is you're authentic, you're fearless, and you are talented. And most of you don't have any of those components, not one. When you possess all three, you dominate those bitches. Dominate. And that's the thing. So we're always going to win. Even if we're wrong, we're still winning. I got to call someone out tonight. Let's just do it right now. We haven't had one of these in a while. You guys ready? It's time for the MMT shill of the week. Here we go. It is Soups. He's back. This is probably the worst, most egregious shilling that I've ever in my entire life come across. Are you ready to read Soups's reaction to Gladiator 2? Can I just mention before I read this? So Paramount had the first screenings of Gladiator 2 Friday night here in Los Angeles, down at Paramount. They invited all the influencers, some critics, whatever. But they're really focusing on influencers and shills because they know they can get a strong reaction like what I'm about to read. Just be ready. If you haven't read this, just get ready. You might vomit, get a vomit bag close, have it nearby. For me, I have, as you guys know, whenever I'm ready to vomit, I grab my Gray Man popcorn box and I have it ready to hurl into, because after I read this from Ramos, I'm going to absolutely destroy this Gray Man popcorn box. Finally, after how many years since this piece of fucking shit film came out, this was one of the last times that I did anything with Netflix. They invited me to premiere. I got out as soon as it was over. I walked out to the carpet and I said, this is fucking terrible. And they're like, dude, you're still at the party. You can't do that. I'm like, the hell I can't. This shit is embarrassing. The fucking Russo brothers. Oh, ugh, I'm not watching their trailer. I'm not going to watch that new one. I'm not doing it. Not watching. This is a shit film. Anyone who says this is a good film, they're done. It's over. Done. Babylon, done. Over. There's no coming back from these things. So get ready for Soups, but let me go back to what happened at Paramount on Friday. They invite all of these influencers and people, and they are like, well, it's so great. They only want you to accentuate the positive. Guess what Weber doesn't do? I don't do that. I'm only going to accentuate the positive if the film's positive. I'm not going to pull one element out and say it's great and the rest of the film's okay. I'm not going to say, oh, Denzel rocks it. He's unbelievable like he is in everything. Like Baloney has some tweet like trying to be a smart ass. Like, oh, I got news for you. He's good in Gladiator 2. Like, no shit, Denzel's good in everything. What the fuck? I guess that's his humor. Haha, hilarious, Matt. Very funny. I know you run Puck and you're one of these insiders. Trust me, dude. When it comes to evaluation, I will gut your ass. Any fucking day, dude. I don't care what you run. I don't care how long you've been in this town. Nobody evaluates better than me. Not you, that's for sure. But your jokes are not funny. I'm sorry, I gotta tech everybody. Do I look like I need to have a band of friends behind me? No, I don't give a shit. I'm the lone wolf, and I like being like that. Watch out. I might be on a terror watch list now. Watch out. Someone's gonna clip that. Here we go. So back to Friday night. I'm at Paramount. And no, I'm not at Paramount. What am I saying? They didn't invite me to Paramount because Remember what happened with Babylon. See, it comes full circle. I was the first person to watch Babylon here in Beverly Hills. What was that, 2 years ago now? Or was it last year? 2 years ago. And I said, damn, man, this is a tonal disaster. This is Chazelle's worst film. So Paramount, I tell you what happened. I did a stream. I wish I saved it. It's gone. The night I came out of Babylon, for those of you who were here, this channel was fairly new. We had like maybe 10 people on the live stream, which is a win for us any day. Whatever the numbers are, I don't even care. One's good for me. I'm happy with that. But I went, oh my God, guys, I destroyed Babylon for an hour straight. It was something else. So the next morning I wake up and I check my email inbox, and it's literally from the PR group that's working with Paramount. They're like, you need to delete the stream. There's an embargo. You can't talk about this film. And I went, oh, well, wait a second. If I loved it, you wouldn't ask me to get rid of it, right? Because that's how it works. If you're glowing, they're like, well, we'll just look the other way. But as soon as you hammer it, oh, you got to get rid of it. So Paramount knows that I don't play games. And so they're not going to invite me to see Gladiator 2 on the first screen. No way. That's too much of a risk. Inviting Soups, that's not a risk. My boy's a shill. My boy will always, and he, not only that, get ready for what I'm going to read. Remember, have that puke box, have that puke bag nearby, because you're going to need it. For me, it's the puke box. For you, it may be a bag or maybe a sock, whatever you have. Here's what I'm a puke sock. Here's what I'm going to read. I didn't author this. He did. Here it is, guys. You guys ready? Gladiator 2 isn't arguably the best film of the year. It's one of the best of all time. Oh, it's not over. It's one of those films that will reinvigorate your love for cinema. It defies, apparently it's possessive. Is possessive of expectations. And the performances are outstanding. Denzel just locked in another Oscar. The score is just as great as the original. The writing is incredible. There's a lot of action on such a massive scale. It's unreal. I could go on and on. Prepare to witness greatness this November. So, listen. I promise you, Paramount's already cut the quote. It's one of the best films of all time. They don't even care who says it anymore. Oh, it's Soups. Who cares? That kid, I hope I see him at Burbank so I can call him a show to his face. I think I'm scared. He's like 4'2". I'm not afraid of Soups. Soups. Damn, do I need to show another shirtless picture? Because one of us is built like a superhero and one of us isn't. I'm not worried about it. But you're a fucking shill. And this is embarrassing. The greatest of all time. Here's why it's embarrassing. Even if it is one of the greatest of all time. How many movies have you watched, Soups? How many films do you take in every year? How many? I'll bet you it's not nearly as many as me. I bet you haven't seen 1/10 as many films as me. But yet here's this guy saying the greatest film of all time. All time. To even say something that fucking dumb, you have to think about how many... You have to watch everything before you say that. Remember our boy Brandon Davis, who now is on YouTube? Why you guys watch that clown? I don't know. He's more subs than us. Oh, hooray. There he is. Brandon Davis. He moved out here too because he's a shill. He said, remember, he said The Creator is the greatest film of the year, best film of the year. And he'd seen like 5 films. How do you say something like that? How do you look in the mirror at night and say, I'm okay with saying the best film of the year when I've watched 7 films? I don't understand. When I come out and say best film of the year, I have seen 95% of the theatrical films. Some films I'm skipping this year. Why would I watch some of these things? I should have skipped We Live in Time. I watched it last night, and you're all going to pay the price in a few minutes when I have to review it. But you see, I'm allowed to skip things. That dude doesn't even watch half the shit I saw that I watched. No way, man. So why are you saying the best film of the year, best film of all time when you haven't watched everything? Soups is not just the shill of the week. He's the clown of the week. He's the MMT clown of the week. Let me change that right now. Can I change it? I'm going to call him the clown of the week. Speaking of clowns, let's roll right to it. Let's get right. This is a funny video. I saw this and I go, this is fantastic. This is perfect MMT material. Get ready for Art the Clown in real life. Give me 1 second. Let's roll it back and pull this up. And then right here we go. Let's listen to this.
Come on, blood. Don't do that. And I don't even play like that, my nigga. I don't play like that, bro. You do that shit for real, bro. I don't even do that, bro. I don't play like that, bro. I'm not winning none of them games, bro. None of that extra shit, bro. You keep going with that ghost shit. Turn you into a ghost. Respect me. Come on now, bro. Don't play with that shit, bro. For my mama, nigga. I don't play none of that shit, bro. Back up with all that goofy shit, bro. I don't play none of that, bro. Back up. I'm not one of them ones, bro. You can cool with all that you got on. I'm not one of them ones. Play if you want to. Fine.
It goes on for like another minute. But the funny thing is, this guy's like, I'm not one of those ones. And then he keeps walking. I wish you would walked out and popped this guy in the face. This Art the Clown wannabe, right? Honking the horn.
Find out.
I mean, dude's a
come on, bro. Don't play with none of that. I'm not one of them.
It's funny. He's a little bit like, I don't know about this shit. This guy's a little fucking crazy. Video's great. By the way, Terrifier 3 is already over $36 million stateside, and that is talk about a win. $2 million? I'm not one of them ones. I'm going to start using that here. I'm not one of them ones for a critic, right? I'm not like all the other critics. I'm not one of them ones. That's it. Thank you. I'm going to steal it. Thank you, Life of Brian. Should really co-opt that and use it. I'm not one of them ones like everybody else, like Gore. He's one of them ones. I'm not one of them ones. Right? We're our own thing here. By the way, can I just bring something up now that we're talking about Terrifier? We have another schizo critic. I like Scott Mendelson. You guys know that I think I've had beers with Scott. I like Scott. But there's times when I read some Scott Mendelson stuff and I go, what are we doing here? What's going on here? You guys ready for this? These are the reasons Terrifier 3, the 6 lessons that this film has made $36 million and it's a runaway success, only in a $2 million budget. The number one reason, according to Scott, is the fact they brought Sienna Shaw back. That's as important as Art the Clown. What? Excuse me? I mean, listen, she survived 2, so you bring her back for 3. That's the number one reason the people are going. If it didn't have Sienna Shaw in it, and by the way, I was like, I didn't even know who Sienna Shaw. She's cute, but I go, who's Sienna? Is she a big like Gen Zer? I checked her. Look, she has 60,000 followers on Twitter. I'm like, wait a second, 60,000 for a major actress? That's not that many. So I just lost it. Sorry, hold on. Let me share this time. So I say to myself, sometimes I read Scott's stuff and I go, what is happening? I want to show you this quickly from tonight. I was going to lead with it. I forgot. Now that I see it on my screen, I'll play it for you. Tonight, Burbank 16. Guess who's there? Going back to Smile 2. Look who's at the audience. Naomi Scott and Parker Finn.
Guys, thanks so much for being here. This is such a cool screen.
They're introing in front of the Dolby.
And genuinely we just wanted to say thank you. Like, we really appreciate you being here, and we literally put our blood, sweat, and tears into this movie. We love it.
And it's like totally empty. There they are outside taking pictures. Naomi on the right, aka Sky Riley, and then of course Parker Finn on the left, and some other fans out there. That's where at the top of the stairs are AMC 16, where I go all the time. That's my home theater, baby. So it's good to see them there. Let's talk about a couple comments here, and we'll get into Nolan nixing Warner Brothers, and we'll do the MMT evaluation if we leave in time. That's coming up next. The Paramount Mountain has 22 stars. I counted. Nice, Steve. Listen, they're not going to invite me, no matter how. Even though you counted the stars, even though Paramount, I don't hate. I like Paramount. They didn't want me to see Gladiator 2 because they know I'm not trustworthy. They can't trust me, right? They can't trust me. Why would they trust me to come in and say Gladiator 2 is the greatest movie of all time? I'm sure it's not. How could it be the greatest movie of all time? It's the great. Give me a fucking break. Okay, get ready. I'm going to pull up Nolan. Oh, shit. Did I not save it? Hold on. We'll come back to Nolan. Let's do the MMT evaluation of We Live in Time. Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. It is Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh in a rom-com that should be on Lifetime, but A24 decided to put it in theaters. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to watch the trailer for We Live in Time.
That your daddy and I
There's something that Mummy and me want to...
we want to talk to you about. It's a bit serious, though.
What's happened to my underwear?
Oh, I literally have no idea.
So sorry, but do we know each other?
Yeah, no. I ran you over. Sorry.
It's all right.
I'm Alma, by the way.
Tobias.
We're going to make sure you have the time of your life.
Hi.
Hi. Probably ought to get going.
Who says? Unless you have shit to do, then.
I have nothing.
Do I need to show any more of this? No, I don't. She's a chef. She's got ovary cancer of the ovaries, and she's gonna die. So it's one of these tearjerker things. I'm sorry, you guys. It's in the trailer. I'm just gonna leave it rolling without any sound. Here's the problem. There's so many problems with this. First of all, I was the only guy by myself last night, which was really uncomfortable to sit through this movie on a Saturday night, date night. And I'm the only dude up in the corner by myself. And they're like, who's this guy? Why is he here? I was doing it for you guys because I put it to a vote. Should I see We Live in Time or should I watch The Apprentice? And apparently you wanted me to watch this film. I don't know why you did, but you made me see it. It is A24, so I probably would have had to see it. I try to see everything from A24, even though they've had the worst year ever. And this is another loser for them. This whole thing feels like an agency package project. So let me walk you through what that means. That means that an agency like CAA or William Morris, they're two of the biggest in Hollywood, they typically have all the big stars. So I'm going to go CAA here is my guess. And it feels like let's get Garfield client and let's get Pugh client and let's put them together in this milquetoast, dying. Here she goes. We know how many times have we seen this movie, right? The bittersweet, sappy bullshit of a romance over the years. And it feels like this thing was put together to make money based on the stars alone. There's nothing here. Everything in here is cubic zirconia, right? You know what that means. This is all fake. Everything here, everything emotionally is forced. Everything feels like I'm being, led to feel this versus organically feel it. And that gets back to the fact that it just is a commercially boring project. And I think it's doing okay. It did okay this weekend. But listen, if you're Garfield and Pugh, I'm looking for something more than a story about how they met over the years. By the way, can I say something? This is a time-hopping mess. So initially, it's got the two of them together, and then it goes back in time and then forward and back and forward and back throughout the film. But the problem is you can't tell what point in the relationship it is. There's no obvious distinction between past and present other than the fact that once Florence Pugh cuts her hair because she has cancer, she shaves it off, which, by the way, is the centerpiece of the film, apparently. We're going to watch her shave her head for, I think, at least 10 minutes. And I'm like, okay, now that she has a shaved head, I know she has cancer and she's about ready to die. But then she's going to go on like a Greatest Chef show and a reality show, and she's going to prove to her daughter that she's more than just a mom who has cancer. She's also a hell of a chef. You see? The other thing this film has that's crazy, and if you're paying attention, you can't miss this. So many goofy moments and musical montages, which means we have a really thin script. So how do we fill it up? We play some nice songs, and then we have them feeding popcorn to each other, doing goofy shit, shagging, whatever you may have for a little bit of the song, and then we move on to the next scene, although we don't know if it's past or present until we realize she has her head shaved. This is not a great film, okay? And anyone who said this was an awards film, you guys need to laugh your ass off. If anyone's out there calling this an awards film, please laugh. Please, for me, go into their mentions and say you're fucking insane. Here's the score, 25%. There's only one reason this is not lower, because I almost fell asleep watching this film. I was very, very dozy. Here's what happens, is I like Florence Pugh and I like Andrew Garfield. I just don't think the chemistry is all that interesting here. The film, again, very commercially packaged, just lame. And the girls in front of me, they were on like a, girls' night out. They were crying. And I almost, listen, I'm not a heartless guy. I was thinking about kind of kicking the chair, but I didn't, but I felt like you guys are being manipulated here. No, thinking of film, do not take this as your reason to go see this film. That's not the right way to view what I just went through. If you want to go ahead and process it that way, that's your call. I try to make these things entertaining, but this was not fun for me last night. And by the way, Andrew Garfield, he's not like a young guy. Isn't he like in his mid to late 30s? He's like one of those guys who looks like he's 29 all the time, but he's actually like 36, 37. Hold on, let me see how old he is. Give me a second. Let's look up how old Andrew Garfield is. I'm going to go 36 or let's go 37 for the win. Andrew Garfield, how old? Give me a second. Here he is. What do you guys want to go with? I got holy shit. You guys ready? He's 41. Would you ever, if you just saw him, you'd be like, that guy's 32. 41. Good Lord, he's old. This is kind of creepy now because Florence Pugh's like 20-something. I thought they were more age appropriate. I don't like this film at all. The timeline on this is awful. Pregnancy to cancer to kid, divorce, Garfield. Pugh's character has no upside, no likability, no emotion. All this is good. Life of Brian, all this is fantastic. I'm glad you paid attention more than me. I was barely there except for, like I said, the goofy montages with the music. It just all feels, like I said, like Muzak. It's like a Muzak I'd say rom-com. It's not even really a comedy. It's just like a, here the end of the world. Someone's gonna die, and we're gonna move on without her. Fuck. But yeah, the women were crying, but I wasn't. How's it contrast with It Ends With Us is a much better film. Certainly it is. I think just for the decision at the end of that film where she's like, I'm moving on, it ends with us. Right? And then you got Leo and you're pointing in the theater. It ends with us. It ends with us. So they're done. They're going to move on and get divorced, and she's going to raise the kid. But that's more interesting than anything in We Live in Time. And at the end, this is how bad the film is, right? So at the end of the film, you ready for how she's remembered into the future? I don't care, guys. Fuck this movie. I'll tell you everything about it. At the end of the film, the way that they remember Florence Pugh, because she's passed on, because by the way, my God, the ice skating thing, that was so bad. Just watch it. Just watch. He goes, they're at the end, they're cracking eggs. And he's like, remember, you have to crack an egg on a flat surface. That's the bittersweet moment at the end. Honey, now that you're a little bit older, I'm going to teach you the thing that your mom really wanted you to know. She wanted you to know that whenever you make scrambled eggs, you need to crack an egg on a flat surface. No one touches us. We're better than everybody. We're better just for that alone. Listen, it's there for you. My script's better. Our script's better than It Ends With Us. No, yeah, it's better than It Ends With Us. It's also better than this. It's better than Honora. It's better than all these films. The scenes are flat. Yeah, exactly. Life of Bri, I'm going to bring you on to review some of these that I don't want to watch. I'll just trust you after this. Tonight's kit, by the way, Bayern Munich. This is one of my favorites. It's actually the authentic. So it's got a great breathability to it. It's like a heat dries their Adidas fabric. I've said this to you guys before. If you ever want to get yourself your first ever football kit, soccer jersey, whatever you want to call it, you need to go get an Adidas heat dry jersey. They're going to cost you about $150, but if you wait till the end of the season, they'll go down to like $100. It's worth it. It's better than a suit. This thing fits like it's authentic cut. I mean, this thing it's one of my favorites. It just feels just lovely to wear on a stream. Let's go open comment here, and then we'll go back to Nolan and Warner Brothers. I got to find the article. Open comment here for a few minutes, and then we'll go on. By the way, in 37 minutes, we have covered more shit on this stream in 37 minutes than most streams do in 2 hours. Maybe our boy, the Wolfman, is he broadcasting live? Do you guys want to watch a Wolfman video? No, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to. I'll lose anybody that's watching. Remember, that's the guy who's like, oh, how dare you say Terrifier 3 is too violent with the 10-year-old kid getting hacked to bits. I'm a weirdo who I can't even understand on a live stream. And then he's coming after me, and I'm like, dude, here's the deal. Don't come after me when you have 100 times the subs and you have half the views. That's pretty fucking embarrassing. This channel, I don't care, but I'm like, don't come after me, especially when you're not good. If you are good, come after me and we'll have a battle. But if you're not worthy of my time, like Wolfman, I'm like, why are we doing this? This is like, you're not even worth my time, bro. If it was you and me in a bar, you'd be going home to Pornhub. I'd be bringing home multiple ladies. So get the fuck out of my world, bro. You understand these people? They don't understand. I'm not like them other bro. What's the line? Help me out, somebody. I'm not one of them ones. Whatever it is, that's the line. What will the mystery movie be tomorrow? Let's have a look. I haven't looked. That's a great question. I'm very good at this. For those you've never watched, I like to pick the AMC and the Regal mystery movie and tell you guys what it is. It's coming up tomorrow night. Let's look quickly here. Let's go to current location, which is Burbank. Let's hit the 16. Let's look at the show times for tomorrow. I've not looked. I think it's an R-rated film, right? Let me do all movies. Let me go tomorrow. This is live. Can you guys tell? And we go to Monday. We'll go down and we'll find out what the runtime is, and let's see if we can nail this. So here we go. Goodrich. What the fuck? Dude, what is Goodrich? I saw that pop up. I'm like, what is a Michael Keaton and Mila Kunis movie? What is this? But it's theatrical, so I'll probably see it. Screen unseen. 143R. Let's go to release schedule, and let's see what we got coming up soon. It's not going to be a good movie. Here we go. 1 second. It's not going to be a big movie. They don't give you big movies. It could be Focus, which, by the way, Conclave would make a lot of sense. Let me look. It comes out this week, too. Let's see. Where's Conclave? It comes out this week. There's a Nora Goodrich. Where's next week? Give me a second. Conclave, 2 hours. The problem is the runtime is 2 hours. That's off. That runtime's doesn't line up. That runtime doesn't. Let's see if we can find something else that's out this week. Your Monster. There we go. Here we go. It could be Your Monster. What the fuck? It's R. It's 138. I'll bet you it's Your Monster. Hold on. Let me pop it. You guys can't see it. I bet you it's Your Monster. Can you imagine how many people are going to be pissed off tomorrow if it's Your Monster? What? It's vertical entertainment. After her life falls apart, soft-spoken actress Laura Franco finds her voice again when she meets a terrifying yet weirdly charming monster living in her closet. A romantic comedy horror film about falling in love with your inner rage. Oof, that sounds worse than Lisa Frankenstein. I don't think it's Heretic. It's too far out. And A24 wouldn't do that. That film doesn't need the help. You got to remember, the mystery movie is typically a movie that's not going to do well. So it's either Conclave or Your Monster. If it's Your Monster, come back and give me a thumbs up tomorrow. Heretic, I know Scott's watching. Scotty! I can't wait to see Heretic. It's one of the only movies I'm excited to see. By the way, Scott, you wanted me to talk about Soups. I did it tonight. He didn't. It wasn't because Scott begged me to. He just said, "Did you see this?" And that's all I needed to see. That's all Scott did. It's not Scott's fault. No one's blaming you, Scott. You're totally absolved. You have nothing to do with anything here. Anytime Scott's on the show and he says anything, it's because I made him say it. It's not because he wanted to. Anything that gets said here is because I force people to say things. I don't give them any space. They have to answer the question. All right. Let's see. Let's go back and look at that Nolan article. Give me a second. Nolan, Warner Brothers. I got to find it now. I had it and I didn't save it. Here it is. I got it. We're good. Here we go. Get ready. Nolan is not going back to Warner Brothers. If you guys missed this, he's going to stay with Universal. And let me tell you, it makes sense. Looked at the Variety article and we read it here. Nolan's new movie landed at Universal despite Warner Brothers' attempt to lure him back with that 7-figure Tenet check. Remember who said that they should bring Tenet back to movie theaters? Now the COVID's over and people can actually go to movies. And look what happened. They brought it back and it's slayed, right? I went over to Universal and I have a reaction from that night. Check it out. It's on the page. Oh my God. Tenet, not a great film, but an experience. It's a great cinematic experience, right? So look at Warner Brothers. They're like, we can try to get you back. He's like, nah, forget it. Because here's the thing, and it's a great quote in here. I'm going to quote this perfectly because it's Stephen Galloway, Dean of Chapman University's Dodge College of Film and Media Arts. What matters to Nolan is, are you going to release this right? Are you going to have the correct marketing strategy? Are you going to get all the IMAX screens? Are you going to leave me alone to make the movie I want to make? Of course, he's earned that. One of the few that has. He definitely has earned that. All these things that he knows he has with Universal on Oppenheimer, why would he go to anyone other than Universal? Exactly. So the fact that Warner Brothers at least tried to get him back, kudos. But right now, Warner Brothers is kind of a mess, right? They've had a terrible year. I mean, really one of the worst years. And I don't know, it's not going to get much better. You've got Trap, not a great film. You've got Horizon, one of the worst films of the year. You've got Joker, bombing. Good film, bombing. Then you also have, what else they have this year? I mean, Horizon alone is an abomination. I don't care if they didn't finance it. I would never release that film. Horizon's easily one of the top 5 worst films of the year. Way worse than Joker 2. If anybody, listen, I'm saying this again. If anybody has Joker, Folie à Deux ranked ahead of Horizon in the level of shittiness this year, they're fucked, man. Just know they're not fair people. They're definitely not being objective. They have an axe to grind. They have an agenda, and it's not how we operate. So, yeah, Horizon's terrible film. Fucking terrible. One of the worst directed films of the year because direction is about calibration. And that film is so poorly calibrated. Every scene goes on too long. It's got stuff that doesn't need to be there. The woman humping Costner at the end, raping him. It's a fucking terrible movie. Horizon, I swear to God, if I see Kevin Costner out ever, someone's going to have to hold me back because I'm going to get in his face and say that's the worst shit film I've ever sat through. And you have no business ever being a director again. By the way, did they ever say anything about Horizon 2? Have they ever even said anything that it was like coming back out? I feel like they didn't even, they're just letting it go. They should. It's terrible. Horizon, I don't want to see part 2. Who wants to watch? Remember, I had some guy come after me. Some rando, one of those people that tweets all day. He's like one of the film accounts that tweets shit all day. Dude, here's an example. Get a fucking life. Why are you tweeting all day? Oh, I'm going to tweet everything that happens. I'm going to steal other people's shit and tweet all day. I'm sorry. You're making nothing. Why don't you get a job? Why are you sitting there tweeting all day? Like, here's a picture of a box. Here's a new. Why are you doing that? That's weird. It's weird material. So I told you, film Twitter's full of weirdos, man. They're not normal. These people are not normal people. They do not relate to normal, even semi-mainstream anyone. If you met them at a bar, you'd be like, man, I can see why you watch movies all day. You don't have a very balanced life. You're very weird. I don't want to be around an oddball. That guy was like, Horizon's good. If you think Horizon's a good film, a quality film, better than Joker, I'm just letting you know you're done. It's no one's ever going to listen to you again. And also you announced to the universe you're fucking clueless. Horizon's terrible. There is no room for negotiation. None. Don't talk to me about cinematography. Cinematography, what? You're selling me a picture? The fact he set up a camera and there's a shot of the Grand Canyon or wherever the fuck they shot that thing. Look at the beautiful wilderness. That's not cinematography. Cinematography is go back and look at Love Lies Bleeding. That's how you frame. That's how it's edited, how it breathes and calibrates. This is not a good film. But yet, I'm sure someone will say Joker's worse than Horizon. Dieter, it played Venice, and then they just got rid of it. I don't think it went anywhere. It totally disappeared. So I think at this point, it's got to just go. It can't be here. Open comments here for the last few minutes of the show. We might go an hour, we might go less. Open comments. I'm open to whatever you want to talk about. Fire away, Gone Girl. I'm good to go on anything. We picked tomorrow night's film, My Monster, whatever it was called, My Friend the Monster, whatever. Maybe Conclave, probably not. Trap was a bad film, somehow made a lot of money. It did okay. Remember, he financed that, so I don't think it lost a lot. Trap's not a great film. Listen, Smile 2 feels like Trap. We talked about that the other night. You can definitely see the similarities. Smile 2 is a much better made film. M. Night Shyamalan is a very average director at best. And the film itself, I told you guys, go back and watch Trap. I can't believe that he didn't open that film with press clippings of the killer. Instead, he opens up with just a random, here's a title sequence. That shows me, again, why am I here on a YouTube stream? Writing really good scripts, by the way. The script's going to be amazing. It's going to be a movie. Why am I here on a YouTube stream while M. Night Shyamalan's making movies with Warner Brothers and not even doing the right thing with his films? Why am I here? Why do I have to sit here and endure dumb fucking decisions like that when I'm sitting here, and if you would have shown me that film 2 months before it opened, I'd say you need to put a title sequence of the killer's press clippings. Therefore, we set the establish whatever the name of the killer was. I already forget. Trap. Right? Do you see? This is what I bring to the table. But of course, they won't bring me in. You're a white guy. You can't have white guys. We have to have diversity. Fuck you. Why do you have to have diversity? We need to have the best person. Don't tell me we need to have diversity. That's the most broken thinking. Do not even get me down this. I'm not doing it here tonight. If you are hiring somebody on the basis of their skin or the fact they check a box, you're a fucking retard. I'm sorry. Am I allowed to say that? I just fucking did. You are so dumb. You register at a level that I can't even comprehend. The fact that you hire someone based on the color of their skin is you're a broken human being. You do never do that. We have never once valued a film higher or lower based on the race, religion, sex, trans. I don't give a shit. The film is good or it's not. It doesn't matter. But that's not how the world works out here. Oh, we can't have Weber because first of all, I just said retard. We can't have that. That's totally insensitive. Holy shit. But he's good. Oh, but he could get someone angry. Oh, but also he's white. Oh, we can't have that. This is why Hollywood, you're fucked because you don't think smart. You do dumb shit like hire people that aren't talented because you want to check a box or it's nepotism, and you have people that are in positions that have no business being there, and you put them there because you wanted to feel good about yourself. Pathetic. Fucking pathetic. Nothing more pathetic than that. There's not even another explanation. I'm right 100%. I could expect 1,000 likes for that. Every time I do that, I massacre it in a good way because I'm right every time. And when you are on the right side of history, you do not lose. And that makes film Twitter woke bitches that they are, the majority of them, pissed off. How are you not woke? I'm not anti-woke, but I'm also not DEI. I'm going to hire the best person every single time. End of discussion, period. I don't even want to know what the race is. Are they good? Good. Bring them in. Perfect. WB tossing off Eastwood's jury number 2 next month. Dumping. Yeah, Mickey 17 looks bad. That trailer is something else. I'll watch that. Let's watch that next week. I don't want to watch it tonight. I'm like kind of burnt. I want to watch it with you guys because I haven't fully processed it one more time. And then I'll go off on it. But listen, Robert Pattinson, hell of an actor. Whoever told him to make that choice in the voice is Bong. Here's the problem. We have directors, and I don't know if Bong is one. I can't say for sure. We have directors in the space that do not have the fortitude to go up to the star and say, this is not working. And you have to. As a director, you must have the ability to walk up to a star and say, this isn't working. I need you to give me this. We talk about it all the time. Modulate from an 11 to an 8, from an 11 to a 9, 11 to a 9.5. You're too high. You're too low. Usually it's too high, but if you're too low, I need you to modulate up. Great example, Sebastian Stan. He modulates too low. Boring guy. Sebastian Stan is incredibly dull, and he's not a leading actor. And the more I watch of him, different man, not a great film, and he's very boring in the film. He's not interesting. You cannot make someone who is not weird and cool and interesting. I know I just made fun of Film Tour from weird. It's one thing to be weird and cool, and one thing to be weird and like off-putting. Film Twitter's definitely the latter. We're definitely the former. Here's the reality. Is Sebastian Stan's boring. So what I'm going to tell him to do is to modulate up, right? Go to a 7. You're at like a 5.5. Give me a 7. I'm going to try to get you to 8, but I don't think I'm going to get there because you don't have it. He's just vanilla. He is so vanilla. So, and again, listen, the things I'm saying right now is that's not acceptable in a test screening. If I come in there and I tell Warner Brothers, you guys are screwed because Sebastian Stan's boring. Why did you even hire him? Now it's too late. I can't remake the movie. So you're going to have to go with it. I would just say, put it out and just let it go. Don't spend a lot of money on this because it's not going to be good. Here's the thing. So what's very frustrating, and you guys have to understand this, is that when you have the ideas that are fucking money, and you've got studios who would rather show their shit film, typically because it's in front of a test screening, so they don't know what they don't think it's very good. Here's the they test screen a lot of things, but let me tell you, you're going to show it to a bunch of people that you paid $5 for a gift card. Here's your Visa gift card. I'm going to show you this. The guy barely can even string together multiple sentences, and you're going to let them determine if a film's good. You're not going to bring me in. Oh, but Weber's too mean. Too bad. Get the director out of the room. This is not good. You need to get rid of this, this, and this. I go back. You look at We Live in Time. There's no way to fix the film. There's no way to make it better. The film is what it is, and I just tell A24, you've had the worst year in your existence, and it continues to pile on with films like We Live in Time. Whoever is creatively in control at A24 is one of the least talented people to ever be in a creative position at any studio in the history of Hollywood. That's how bad A24 has gotten. Civil War, bad film. Go back and look at Tuesday. The fact they acquired that worst film of the year, Tuesday, along with what else I have. There's so many bad films this year. It's been a terrible year. A24, go watch my stream where I bury A24, the funeral of A24. I don't even care. Listen, even if The Brutalist, and by the way, I've had opportunities to see it. I don't want to sit there for 3 hours. I'm going to watch it at AMC in a recliner. And not only that, whenever I don't go to these screenings, I don't have to see these critics. I don't have to see like Jeff Snyder. Jeff's weird, man. Jeff, that whole thing with the picture in the car, don't take a naked picture of you in the car, shirtless picture, if you don't go to the gym. Jeff, don't do that. You have to have self-awareness. If I take a picture shirtless in the car, it's going to look better than you shirtless in the car. And even then, I wouldn't take a picture shirtless in the car and post it going, I'm open to DMs, hit me up. If I did, I'd get more invitations than you, but I still wouldn't do it. I don't have to see Snyder. I don't have to see all these blowhards that I go see, and I walk in and I go, oh my God, that guy's here, she's here. The only person that I was happy to see last time I went to a movie was Beatrice, who works at THR. She's a sweetheart, really pretty girl. I didn't say that pretty. I didn't say that, Beatrice. It just spewed up. Here's reality. She's married. I'm not just stating facts. Other than that, I don't want to see these people. Menzel's passable. I don't even want to see Menzel. Menzel's like, you bastard. A24 is putting The Lighthouse out on IMAX soon. Oh my God, Mount Fillmore. Oh, I don't know, but if you listen to some of the film Twitter, it's riotous. The fart jokes are so funny. The Lighthouse is interesting only from assembly and cinematography. It's got that really rough, Super 8 look to it. There was a really cool film that was out. Remember that? Oh God, what was the name of that film? I recommended it. It was from like a year ago. It was a neon film that was shot like really old school Super 8. That's a cool film. I like that better than Lighthouse. Same feels as Lighthouse. Feels. Oh, help me out. What was the name of that film? But Lighthouse is a absolutely overvalued film, and especially with film Twitter. Remember, film Twitter has no clue what they're talking about. Hold on. Actually, I almost forgot this, and this would be really bad of me. And the fact that I almost forgot it and I didn't do it tonight, I'm very unhappy with myself. But I have two things I want to finish with tonight before I leave. Two things. The first one is one of the dumbest, most myopic film Twitter takes I've ever seen in my entire life. Are you guys ready? They continually one up sometimes I just say to myself, these people don't have any foot in reality. This is from Yasmin Kara Hanani Updates. A lot of these people, this is really weird to me, by the way. Their whole life is like an account of an update of some star saying, look, here's this person. And then they create like a fan thing. That's their identity. Can you imagine that's your identity? What do you do in life? Well, my identity is that I run a fan account for a star. Excuse me, what? You do what? I'm sorry, do you have a life? No, you don't. Okay. Obviously, you just told me you don't have one. Here's the thing. You ready? This is amazing. You ready for this? Anyway, we talk about it a lot, but I genuinely want to know why A24 botched the releases of A Different Man, Janet Planet, and Sing Sing. Let's help out the Hannah nigger. Hold on, Hannah girl. I didn't. It says Negri. Hannah. I can't read it. Here's. Let me help her out. Is there any amount of advertising that would make Janet Planet a box office success, guys? Is there anything? There's no amount of money. Is there any amount of cash that would make A Different Man a massive runaway box office smash like Terrifier 3? Sing Sing is the most accessible of these, but yet it's a thespian in jail film. Do a lot of people line up for those films, right? You know, prison dramas with actors playing, you know, in a play in the jail. Is that the kind of thing that would sell tickets? These people don't understand that what they have is incredibly niche taste. Janet Planet's kind of a cool film, not a great film, but I liked it more than a lot of the stuff from A24 this year. How was Janet Planet ever? How did they botch the release? Can someone explain this to me? Can someone please explain to me how they botched the release? I would love someone to. These people are not serious. These people have no clue how the real world works. And they don't understand that the majority of people out there don't give a shit about Janet Planet in A Different Man. A24 is a niche label. They have stated on the record that they don't want to be as niche. They want to make more Civil Wars. Oh, God, help us. They want to make more We Live in Times. They want to make more accessible films. And so these films were never going to be big. Never going to be big. Open comments before we go, and we'll do a quick Planet X check one more time before we leave here. For those of you who don't know, Planet X is here, and that's why we're seeing all the shitty weather and why the world's going to hell. If you're in charge at Netflix, how would you handle the films get released? Gone Girl, great question. Thank you, by the way. Gone Girl's producing and inputting questions because he's like, let's steer it this way. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If I'm at Netflix, I already told you, I'm coming in tomorrow as the head of theatrical, and I'm going to go directly to AMC Regal Cinemark, and I'm going to say, here's what I have on the table. I'm going to give you a 3-week exclusive window to start. I know you might want more, but it's more than Universal's giving you. Look at Warner Brothers. They just put Joker 2. It's on digital coming up, I think, in a week. It's already there. I'm going to give you 3 weeks exclusivity theatrical, along with the other guys, but I'm saying you guys will have these films for 3 weeks. Then we're going to put them on streaming. I think we can go with that. A 21-day window to start. And then if they're successful and I'm AMC and I'm Regal, I'm going to go back to Netflix and say, I want a month. And I want, first of all, you know what I want? I want a 2-month window on everything. I'm going to go 45 days on everybody by spring 2025. So right now I'm getting Netflix in by giving me a 3-week window. I'm not doing a week. I'm not doing 2 weeks. I'm doing 3 weeks. And I'll take it. And then we're off and running. And Netflix is held in higher esteem because they are a actual theatrical studio. I can get this done tomorrow. They will never hire me because remember, I do not fill a quota. I'm too loud, too abrasive, says too many mean things, used the R word earlier. This is unacceptable, and you should be canceled for saying things like that. Okay, whatever. I don't really fucking care. But you guys want to make money? Do you want to make the stars happy? Do you want to do the right thing? No, but here's the problem. We have people in positions of power, Ted Sarandos, people who are there that are so bullheaded and so obstinate and will not budge on it's not our thing. Well, then guess what? You make it part of their thing. And guess who has the power? Emerald Fennell, Margot Robbie. Do not sell Wuthering Heights to Netflix, even if you lose money, even if you get a smaller budget. You understand? See, if I were making the film, I would do that. Because I care about movie theaters. And I think Emerald does. I think Margot does. But most filmmakers, look no further. David Fincher, a guy who literally sold his soul to Netflix so he can make the movies he wants, like the totally forgettable Mank, at best forgettable. And then I didn't even watch the other one. I don't want to watch his films because they're only at Netflix. David Fincher used to be a director we cared about. Now nobody gives a shit about you, David. And you know why they don't? Because you signed a deal with Netflix and you made your bed and you're done. No one cares. The next time someone will care about a David Fincher movie is when you go back to Universal, to Warner Brothers, to Sony, anybody. You go back to someone you worked with in the past and you do it right. Until then, nobody cares about you, Fincher. That's the reality of it, because you don't matter in the landscape, because Netflix doesn't fucking matter. And they know it, and the more pressure we put on them, the better. Planet Hollywood. No, I never. They used to have one up here at studio. What's it called? City Walk. They used to have one there. It's huge. Now it's like it's been 100 different things. City Walk's cool. By the way, those of you who've never been here to LA, if you want to go, you don't want to necessarily go to Universal where it's like 150 a day. Go up to City Walk. You can walk around, go to an AMC movie. You can hang out there. By the way, if you have an AMC, if you have the ticket for the movie, you can get parking for $5. That's not bad, right? $5 parking. Walk around City Walk. Go see a movie, get the feel of Universal without going to Universal. A huge recommend for me. I don't go up there a lot because I love AMC Burbank, and I'm cheap with $5 parking. I'm like, guys, when I go to Burbank, it's free parking. So I'm like, why wouldn't I just go there? All right, last couple minutes and we're out of here. We'll go another less than 5 minutes. We're at them. Go hit them. Anything you got, let's go, and then we're out of here on this Sunday night. Back here on Thursday. No shows before then. Thursday night will be Venom. I'm not dude, I don't want to see Venom. Can you imagine driving across town to see Venom 3? Hell no. I'll watch it Thursday at Burbank, where I can walk in at like 4 o'clock and sit in the back. AMC's December horror comedy Y2K looks horrible. Animotion, it would just be the fitting end to their year. The Brutalist, I don't care if it's the best film of the year. It's still a terrible year for A24. Even if they acquired The Brutalist, even if it is the best film of the year, bar none, it's still a terrible year for the studio. And A24 would never hire me because, first of all, they are 100% woke. They are a 100% woke company. I'm not anti-woke, but I'm also not pro-woke, right? You guys understand, when I say no DEI, that makes me anti-woke, but it doesn't. It makes me authentic and objective. You don't go into any hiring situation hiring someone based on the color of their skin. You never do that. I'm 100% right. I know I'm right. There's no arguing. I don't want to hear it. Don't just throw the racist shit out. I don't give a fuck. I know I'm right. And I'm not going to be bullied off of that. I'm 100% right. DEI needs to be abolished, and we go back to going to who's the best person, period. We are going to, again, go to the NFL. Does an NFL ever start a quarterback because of the race of the quarterback? No. Who's the best quarterback? Who's the best chance to win? That's it. Why do you run any other business like that? Why would you run a business with not the best person? Why would you hire a doctor because of the color of their skin? You'd hire a doctor because they're talented and they're the best in their field, and that's why they want them here. I'm right. There's no debate. There's no reason. Do you see what I'm saying? There's no reason to even bring it up, because there's no even debate here. There's nothing you can bring in to change that. So, but are you really being objective? Hell yeah. I've never valued a movie higher or lower based on female, male, black, white director. Doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Go to City Walk reissues. Interstellar. I will. You know what? I will. I just saw Interstellar down in Beverly Hills, 70 millimeter, a few months ago. It wasn't a great cut of it because that theater's not great. I will go to Universal to see Interstellar again in IMAX. No question. For the score, for the experience. The only problem is with Interstellar, you guys know that Nolan was fucking with the audio, so you can't even understand what's happening. So Interstellar, already a very dense film, as you guys know. You can't even understand it because it's buried, because he brought Hans' score up, right? He mixed it low. He was messing around with audio. The stories are all there. Go look for it. It's all there. Nolan started doing that with Dark Knight Rises, and then now finally he finally brought it back. Oppenheimer's the film where he has the score up, but he also has the dialogue up. He finally got it right, but he buried films. He buried the dialogue so low that it's hard to hear a lot of Interstellar, which is annoying as hell for a lot of people. But the cinematic event that it is, his best film, Interstellar. That's going to wrap it here for tonight. Thanks for being here on this Sunday night. Sunday Evening Spectacular is in the books. We'll be back here on Thursday for Venom 3, The Last Dance, which how can you be excited for that? Listen, I don't consume Big Macs and large fries all day. That is literally a McDonald's Happy Meal movie. I'm watching it, but I'm not coming out of there saying it's good. It's Tom Hardy acting the goof again, the whole thing. I don't want to watch it. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate all the super chats tonight, by the way. Thank you, everybody who watches. Always a pleasure. Thanks for being here. If we offended someone, good. That's what we like to do. Until next time, see you back here on Thursday for Venom 3. Oh, why? Why do I do this? Peace out. Live from LA.